All right, you've got 48 hours in Rome, it's your first time visiting, and you want to see it all. Here's how to do it. If it's your first time in Rome and you only have 2 days, but you want to see as much as possible, how do you do it? In this video, I'm going to share with you how to see the most possible in 2 days, but with the least amount of stress. Don't get me wrong, you really can't see everything in Rome in 2 days, but you can see a lot. All right, let's start with an early morning tour of the Vatican Museums. These tours start at 7:30 or 8 o'clock and come with or without breakfast. Now, there are several reasons that I'm suggesting doing this as a tour. First of all, it's stress-free. They get your tickets for you. All you have to do is show up. Second of all, they're going to lead you through the Vatican Museums and show you the highlights without you having to worry about what you should be looking at. And the main reason that I'm suggesting a tour is because there are tours that allow you to take the shortcut into St. Peter's Basilica. Now, you cannot take this shortcut if you're not on a tour. You also cannot take this shortcut if you book a tour through the Vatican Museums. So in the description below, I'm linking to some of these early morning tours where you can access the Basilica of St. Peter's through the shortcut from the Sistine Chapel. I promised you I would give you an itinerary with the least amount of stress, and believe me, this is the least stressful way to visit the Vatican Museums, other than having to get up pretty early. The whole tour should last around 3.5 hours, so you should be done visiting St. Peter's Basilica around 11:30. At this point, if you have the energy, you could decide to climb St. Peter's Dome. But if you really want to maximize your day, I would suggest skipping the dome and moving forward. If you're hungry, I suggest visiting nearby Sorpasso or La Zanzara for an early lunch. When you're ready, the next stop is to head over the Angel Bridge. You'll pass Castel Sant'Angelo along the way. This is a great site to visit on your next trip to Rome, but for this time, I suggest just enjoying the view from the outside. Bonus tip, from the Ponte Sant'Angelo or the Angel Bridge, you can get some really wonderful shots of St. Peter's Dome, also of Castel Sant'Angelo itself. And at the end of the Angel Bridge, if you turn around, you'll get another wonderful view of Castel Sant'Angelo. After you cross the Angel Bridge, make your way up Via dei Coronari. Don't worry, in my description below, I'm linking to a map of this itinerary. This is one of my favorite streets in Rome, even if it's changed quite a bit in recent years. Once home to some of the Eternal City's best antique shops, you'll now find a few more contemporary shops, plus some semi-fast food options. But that does not detract from its charm. Via dei Coronari is home to one of my favorite gelaterias in Rome, so if you're ready for a gelato, make a quick stop. But if not, don't worry, there are plenty more opportunities for gelato ahead. Hey guys, if you're enjoying this video, would you please go ahead and hit that like button? And also consider subscribing. And if you do subscribe, don't forget to hit the bell so you know when I publish a new video. Once you get to the end of Via dei Coronari, you're ready to visit one of Rome's most beautiful squares, Piazza Navona. Once a stadium in ancient Rome, this stunning piazza is today a wonderful example of the Baroque period at its finest. The fountain in the middle was designed by Gian Lorenzo Bernini in the 1600s. He also designed the fountain on the far end, nicknamed Fontana del Moro, or Fountain of the Moor. The fountain on the end closest to us was originally designed by Michelangelo's student, Giacomo della Porta, although the Neptune and Tritons were added centuries later. The church in the center was designed in part by Bernini's primary rival, Francesco Borromini. It's worth a quick pop-in to see the stunning interior. If you're ready for a food break, you have a few great options right here. Try Enoteca Cul-de-Sac, where you can usually get a table, especially if you want a table inside. There's also Vivi Bistro looking out onto Piazza Navona, which offers great views and pretty good food, although it's not amazing. For a more traditional meal where you can usually find a table, head to Pizzeria Fiammetta. Alternatively, on your way to the next stop, you can stop by Piazza Sant'Eustachio, a piazza I've mentioned in other videos. This, to me, is the perfect trifecta for a Roman break. Sant'Eustachio coffee is a favorite with Romans and visitors alike. Zaza Pizza, which looks like a hole in the wall, and it is, serves up some of the best pizza by the slice in Rome. And Gunther Gelato is close to the top of my top 10 favorite gelateria in Rome, so don't miss out. If you want more of a sit-down experience, try Ginger, which bills itself as sort of a semi-health food spot. But they do serve plenty of Roman dishes along with those salads, smoothies, and fruit bowls. If you're thinking this would be a good time to stop for lunch at Armando al Pantheon, you will have needed to reserve that at least a week in advance. The same goes for my personal favorite, Del Sostegno. Whether you stop for lunch or not, your next stop is the one and only Pantheon, my favorite monument in Rome. The Pantheon is the best preserved building from ancient Rome we have in Rome. The version we see today was built in around 126 under Emperor Hadrian. It contains the world's largest unreinforced concrete dome. The 9-meter-wide oculus in the center of the dome is the only source of light besides the doorway. It's a wonder of engineering, and it stuns every time I visit, and I do visit a lot. As of summer 2023, there is now a fee to enter the Pantheon. If you're a planner, you can book this in advance. But if you didn't book in advance, you can still go in without waiting in line. At the time I'm making this video for you, tickets to the Pantheon do not seem to sell out. You can walk right up and buy your tickets on the spot. And the least easy way of buying your tickets on the spot is to stand in one of the two lines. On the left, you'll see people standing in line to pay with cash. On the right, you'll see a much longer line, which is for people waiting to pay with credit card. But you can avoid both of these lines. Just walk right up to one of the signs in the front, point your phone at the QR code, and visit the official website of the Pantheon where you can purchase tickets. Once you create a login, you can purchase your tickets right on your phone. They sell tickets in hour time slots, so from say noon to 1, 1 to 2, etc. So far, I have always been able to buy tickets for the current time slot that I'm in. So if I show up at say 3:20 in the afternoon, I can buy a ticket for the 3 to 4 p.m. time slot and walk right in. I do suggest checking on the official website of the Pantheon as a church as to what their liturgical schedule is. This way you avoid showing up during Mass or some other event for which you would have to wait to go in. Yes, if there is Mass and you want to attend, you may do so. But please note that they do not allow visits during Mass. Unfortunately, at the time I'm making this video, the system does not seem to work really well with non-European credit cards. So you'll have to choose the option to pay with PayPal. There you can pay with your PayPal account or with a credit card, but there is a €1.50 fee. Once you purchase your tickets, you'll receive an email with a PDF. Open it up and breeze right into the Pantheon with no waiting. Now, of course, you can avoid all of this if you don't want to go inside, but in my opinion, it is an absolute must-see from the inside as well as the outside. If you're ready for a coffee break, you can try the other famous coffee spot near the Pantheon called Tazza d'Oro. All right, from the Pantheon, we're going to head over to Largo di Torre Argentina. This is the site of Julius Caesar's assassination. It's also home to Rome's most famous cat sanctuary. I did a video for you guys about this, so you can check that out if you want to learn more. You can visit the cat sanctuary without going inside of the ruins, but I really do recommend a visit inside. It's only €5, you can buy your tickets right on the spot, and it doesn't take that long, and it's a really, really well done exhibit. Please note that it is closed on Mondays. Whether you go inside or not, just take a moment to appreciate this historic site. From here, make your way to Piazza Venezia. Walk up the ramp to Campidoglio to admire the square that was once the most important hill in ancient Rome. This is Capitoline Hill, where the Romans built their temple to Jupiter Optimus Maximus, among other temples. In the Renaissance, Michelangelo transformed this space into the beautiful piazza you see today. Capitoline Hill is also City Hall, home of the mayor's office. It is also where Alessandro and I got married. But it's probably best known for being home to the Capitoline Museums. I don't think you'll have time or energy to visit these museums, but make a note for your next visit. Finally, head to the back and take in the vista of ancient Rome from above. That's your preview for part of tomorrow's itinerary, and it's a perfect way to end the day. As you have seen, you can fit quite a lot into a day in Rome. If you don't feel like visiting the Vatican Museums, you could just visit St. Peter's Basilica and climb the dome. And if you don't want to visit the Vatican at all, you could visit Castel Sant'Angelo instead. Also note that the Vatican Museums are closed on Sundays except for the last Sunday of the month when they are open and they're free and it's chaos. So if your first day in Rome falls on a Sunday, I would move the Vatican and this whole itinerary to the second day. Also keep in mind that on Wednesdays, if the Pope is in town and he gives the papal audience in St. Peter's Square, the Basilica is closed until the audience is over around 12:30 or 1 o'clock. And what that means is that the basilica is not accessible via the shortcut from the Sistine Chapel, as I mentioned to you at the beginning of this video. You can check on the Vatican website. You can also check with your tour company and have them confirm with you that they will be visiting the basilica. Now, in my opinion, this is the perfect itinerary for your first day. You see quite a bit of the must-see sites in Rome, but you go at a fairly easy pace and you do allow for a little bit of downtime. But I know that some of you are turbo sightseers, so if you want more things to do on this itinerary, here are some suggestions for things you can see and do along the way. As I mentioned, with only 48 hours in Rome and visiting the Vatican Museums in the morning of this day, I really don't think visiting another intense site or museum is a great idea for your first day. But some visits that shouldn't take too much time and energy along the way include the ruins underneath Piazza Navona, Campo di Fiori, the Church of San Luigi dei Francesi with its chapel with 3 Caravaggio paintings, the Church of Santa Maria sopra Minerva with Michelangelo's Christ the Redeemer, the Church of St. Ignatius of Loyola with its astounding ceiling and optical illusion, the Icono Immersive Experience. This is a great one with kids. The Icono Immersive Experience offers something different and is a great thing to do with or without kids. And the Jewish Ghetto. All right, you're going to start day 2 with a tour of the Colosseum, the Roman Forum, and the Palatine Hill. Of course, you don't have to take a tour. You can also go on your own. I recommend a tour again because it is less stressful than having to figure out how to get tickets on your own. Also, a good tour guide can really bring the whole place to life. Typically, a visit to the Colosseum, Roman Forum, and Palatine Hill, whether you go on a tour or on your own, is going to last about 3 hours. And since the Colosseum opens at 9, if you go first thing in the morning, you should be done around lunchtime. If you're a planner, you can book in advance and eat at one of the best spots in the area, the Taverna dei Fori Imperiali. Otherwise, you'll find plenty of other places to eat around the Colosseum. Next, take a leisurely stroll down the Via dei Fori Imperiali and take in the ruins of the imperial forums. On the left, you have the Forum of Julius Caesar. On the right, you have 3 imperial forums, or fora, the Forum of Nerva, the Forum of Augustus, and the Forum of Trajan. Take a good look at Trajan's column. This tells the story of Emperor Trajan's conquest over Dacia, which is today Romania. The column, like many other statues and structures from ancient Rome, was once brightly colored. From here, it's just a short walk to the Trevi Fountain. Now, if you didn't already eat and you want to eat lunch in this area, I suggest booking in advance to eat at Piccolo Arancio, Collini Emiliane, or Osteria Romana. But if you didn't book, don't worry, there are plenty of places to eat near the Trevi Fountain. You can check out my page for more ideas. From the Trevi Fountain, make your way to the bottom of the Spanish Steps. From the bottom of the Spanish Steps, if you have the energy, I really recommend climbing to the top of the Spanish Steps so you can enjoy the beautiful views from there. This whole area around the Spanish Steps is Rome's shopping area, so if you've come to Rome to do a little shopping, you're in the right spot. At this point, you could end your day. You could stop in at the Piazzetta wine bar and enjoy some refreshments overlooking the Spanish Steps. Alternatively, you could walk along the Pincio down into Piazza del Popolo and then back again along Via Margutta to end your day. For a couple of more options for aperitivo, you can try Hotel de Russi, or for something a little less posh, check out the Enoteca della Croce. As I did with your first day, I tried to keep this day to a minimum of intense sightseeing while still allowing you to see many of Rome's must-see sites. But again, if you are a turbo sightseer and you want more options for things to see, here are my suggestions for things you can see and do that won't take up too much time or energy along this itinerary. St. Peter in Chains, San Pietro in Vincoli, where you can see Michelangelo's Moses, is right near the Colosseum. You could also visit the Mamertine prison, where Saints Peter and Paul were held before their respective executions. You could visit the Complesso Vittoriano, also known as the Wedding Cake. You could take the elevator all the way to the top and check out some amazing views of Rome. You could take some time to explore the Monti neighborhood, which is really cute and charming. On your way to the Trevi Fountain, you could stop into the Church of Santi Apostoli and visit its underground. And if you make your way all the way over to Piazza del Popolo, don't miss the Church of Santa Maria del Popolo, where you will find 2 Caravaggio paintings. Obviously, these days could be switched. They could also be mixed and matched. In the description below, I've linked to a map with these 2 itineraries, and you'll notice that they each cover a very different section of Rome. So I've laid them out so that you see the most in the least amount of time and least amount of stress possible. So what do you think? Have you visited Rome on a 2-day trip? Did you get to see everything you wanted to see? Drop me a line in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts. And for more videos about walking itineraries in Rome, check out my playlist right here.